Man, thank you for calling. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to listen to you. Now, do me a favor. What I always tell individuals when I start is give me the long version of what's going on, okay? So don't leave anything out. Don't worry about time. Go.
Okay, so basically, like 14 years ago, me and mother, we used to just mess around, like, once a week or once every other, like twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't dating, nothing like that. So I guess apparently she got pregnant
Mm-hmm.
and she had the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, we would continue to do the thing, every, once a week or maybe once every, the same thing. So then, like, 9 months later, she said she was pregnant again. So she had another one.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have, I didn't sign no birth certificate, never came up yet for the child and stuff like that. But we would, I was a cop back then, so, and stuff, and I was like, it's a possibility that's mine. So I decided just to give her like, $400 a month. Never got a paternity test, never did that, never signed the birth certificate. So we was doing that all the way up until August of this year. And I guess she had called me on the phone saying something about the bank gave me like $800 or something more than what they was put. I'm like, what do you mean? So then she was like, well, I got to go back, give them some money back, and they corrected it.
Repeat that again.
She said that the bank had gave her $800. And then she was like, well, how much did you send? I was like, I'm sending $200 every 2 weeks. And then she said I had to go back, and then they fixed it.
Uh-huh.
So long and behold, like maybe 3 days after that, I get a summons.
So were you getting wage garnished and didn't know it?
No,
okay.
No wage garnish. I was doing that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Myself, and I would just pay it, and I was doing it just in case because it's a possibility. It may not be mine, but it's a possibility because we did do it here and there, but it was not no spending the night, nothing like that. It was like just a brief thing. So then I get a summons saying that pretty much on the summons it said that it was requesting like paternity. If paternity, if I didn't agree to assign the acknowledgement of paternity, then there was going to request paternity.
When y'all used to hook up, what did y'all used to hook up at?
We'd just go to the house.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and then so then I get that, and the summons it said that she's going to give a court subject matter over to the courts, and he was requesting that the courts figure out child support.
So that's where you at with it now?
Yeah. So I sent something back. It was back because it was in August, and then I sent something back within the 20 days.
And this is 14 years ago now. Now it's
the oldest is 14, and the other one is like 12, going on 13.
You got any kids or a wife or something else?
Yes.
And you was married at the time?
Correct.
And so what do you think the angle of her doing this now is? What do you think is coming from?
I think maybe either, I guess I overheard that she may have lost a house or something. So now she's, or she's probably talking to people and they're saying, hey, girl, you should have, did this and did that or whatever.
And where you calling me from?
Washington.
DC or Washington State?
State.
Wow. Okay. You're my first Washington. I've been doing this 20 years. I've never talked to nobody in Washington. I kept telling myself many years I want to move to Seattle. I don't know what it was about Seattle, but I wanted to move to Seattle. Nonetheless,
I mean, the order is in Florida, though.
oh,
Yeah, but I moved up here I've been here like 12 years, going on 12 years.
oh, okay, okay, okay. So, when was the last time you actually seen her in person?
About 12 years ago.
Holy smokes. This is a head scratcher. Normally, there's more stuff involved. How old are you?
50, 52,
How old is she?
50, I think she's about either 50 or 51.
Did she ever ask you to marry her?
No, it was nothing like that.
Right, right. No, I know. That's why I asked. So I'm fishing. All right. So honestly, you can look at this two ways. I'm gonna tell you about something that happened to me. As much as I wanted a kid, I was messing around with a woman in 2016, and she got pregnant. Very beautiful woman, shapely, the whole nine. And as much as I wanted a kid, I'm not even gonna give the details about her. I respect her so much, and I just use it as a story. So she got pregnant, and she started crying. And she started crying because she was like, I know you don't, you're not in a relationship with your daughter and all that, but I can't keep this baby. And I was saying to myself, I don't know who you think I am, but I don't want you to keep this baby. This is what I'm saying in my head. And so she was like, I want to get an abortion. And I was like, I think it was like 9 something at night when she was telling me this. I'm like, are they open now? Like, do they got a drive through? Shit. I'm sorry. Wow. So I told you that story to tell you this. Whenever you're just having sex with somebody, that's a very slippery slope. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you know that. So I would say when you decide to play along, that is an unfortunate, I don't know what the thing is. They say it's going to come back to bite you.
Right.
Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you what I believe about women. I believe that nothing, and my former co-host told me this, but I had a weirder version of it. But I don't believe a woman does anything that she hasn't planned out or does it with knowing that once she executes it, she'll always have the upper hand.
Right.
Women do not. That they say it out loud, they play victim, but deep inside they know they got the one up.
Right.
And your situation with your wife and everything was the gotcha.
Right.
That was the gotcha. So now, so how much was you giving her?
400.
And that's two for each kid, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you what she's doing. She's going for back pay.
Right.
If that child is yours, it will not be good.
They can go back 2 years.
Say that again.
They can go back 2 years in that state.
Oh, woo! Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, they can only go back 2 years in the state of Florida.
Good. And what does she do now?
She works for the state.
So when she lost her house, that was a long time, a while back.
I would say about maybe a year or two,
Yeah.
about a year and a half.
It's amazing, man. Yo, man. Every female, when they get older, they get a job for the city or the state. It's like when they're young, they play, they play, they play. Then they get older and they get a job for the city or state. It's like the third person in the last 2 weeks. Holy smokes. All right. Yeah. And she hasn't remarried.
No,
Mm-hmm.
not that I know of.
Well, women like that very rarely marry. Women like that, side chicks that play that role, you know, they have a childish mentality, and to me, what I've seen about them is they always want to keep themselves available for the next one,
Right.
and so they ain't gonna get married. What do you think? What do you think? What's going on in your mind?
As far as,
You thinking the child is yours?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Did you ever see pictures?
Yeah.
What do you think based on pictures?
I mean, it could be possible.
Uh-huh. Gotcha. All right. And far as paternity, now what did the paper say far as maternity? If it's not yours, if you don't do that, what did it say?
Okay, so on the court docket, it has established paternity or disestablished paternity. That's supposed to be, that's what they have on the court docket.
And it was mailed to you from where?
Florida, in the
Okay.
summons. And it's it's acknowledgement of paternity,
Uh-huh. And
which I didn't sign it.
say that again.
So when they sent the summons,
Mm-hmm.
they sent acknowledgement of paternity in it.
As to the reason for it.
Well, for me to sign it, if I agree with the paternity.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
And you didn't sign it, but you sent it back?
Yeah, I didn't send it back. Yeah.
You didn't send it back?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I wouldn't have sent it back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
Probably back in August.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have sent it back. This is why I tell individuals to always reach out to me at the beginning, but I'm going to educate you and you'll educate the next one. Unfortunate for us, the people that do it and make the mistakes, we are now the new teachers of that mistake. First of all, you got summons from Florida.
Correct.
Florida summons don't mean shit outside of Florida. They don't. All right. They should have subpoenaed you. That's number
Which
one.
they did. Okay.
Say that again?
Which they didn't.
Yeah, right. They didn't. They should have subpoenaed you. And then even when they subpoena you, they have another problem. Because subpoenas don't mean shit outside of Florida. Nothing means nothing. Their law don't mean nothing. This is why when somebody is on a run, there's a federal fugitive. The fugitive task force is normally federal. Or they touch bases with the local one, then the local one, if they go get them. It's the same thing with legal paperwork. All right, that's number one. Number two, I don't know if you just sending it back acknowledges it. Did you hear anything else about it since?
No.
Uh-huh.
No. I mean, then they start sending. Then her attorney starts sending me stuff like, "We want your financial records and send this in," and they wanted me to take like a parenting class and all that.
Yeah. Okay. That means they probably established you as because this is how it go. Like I said, you make the mistake and then you realize it after the fact, and you are now the new teacher of the mistake. When they sent you anything, answer it. No, it means nothing. By you sending it back, that could have established the fact that you were aware, and it invited you to the process, and you went for it. Now they're sending you stuff based on that paternity is established. It's like they moved on to the next one. When did the attorney send you paperwork based on financial records?
She sent me, I think in October, and then they sent me a notice to produce that I had, and that was in January.
In order to produce documents.
evidence. Yes.
Uh-huh. So October, November, December, then January, last month, they sent you something else.
Right.
And this is an attorney.
Correct.
Uh-huh. This is how it's supposed to go. The Constitution states that any part of a judgment that is obtained when done wrong, the whole thing is thrown out. Know that. It's very important. So let me repeat it again, just so you're clear and you can understand the gist of it. And in no sense of being intimidated, if you ever have to tell anybody this, you tell them with authority. The Constitution states that any part of a judgment that has been won, that was won by any part of the process that was done wrong, that judgment is thrown out. It does not exist. So, with that being said, here's the right way how things should have been done. By you living in Washington, they don't have no jurisdiction over you. They knew that when they typed that letter up. When it was the second they put Washington, they don't have jurisdiction. This is why I don't know if you just mailing that thing back establishes jurisdiction. But that was the bait. They send you something and you just.
I did send something saying I don't consent with the process and stuff. I did send that back.
Yeah, you don't even say that. There's nothing.
Okay.
No acknowledgement. Acknowledgement is, oh, you don't consent. Well, that's because I did that before I went to law school. I did that with my child's mom. And by the mere fact I sent it back stating that. I'll just send it back stating that we don't even live, I don't live in New Jersey. The judge said, well, by you sending it back, oh shit, nonetheless. So by the mere fact that you live in Washington, D.C., they do not have jurisdiction over you. They know that. But like I said, that's so I personally would, if I was you, call. Let me ask you, do you think she got your social security number or anything like that?
No, they don't.
How'd they get your address?
I got a house.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. And when you communicated with her, she ain't never mailed you nothing. You did all the mailing, right? The money. That was it.
Correct.
And how did you send the money?
Money order.
Money order. Paper trail, money order. You send them a money order. You got the money order in the city you live in. They checked the deed. They narrowed it down. They got all your information. Let me tell you something. What my dad taught me. What my dad taught us. Right now, you're talking to me. I am in Virginia. My address is in North Carolina. My license is in North Carolina. This situation that I've been through with family court and all that taught me, and what my dad told me, to never do that. People would say things like, man, I'm not trying to do all that. Well, convenience becomes a cancer.
Right.
And that's just how it goes. Nonetheless, how far do you live from the state line? Where you live?
What state line?
Any state.
More than 2 hours.
Do you still send her money?
No.
And the reason why you stopped was because of the process.
Correct.
Did you talk to her anytime after that?
She wouldn't talk to me.
Oh, what? Oh, wow. See? So I was telling individuals, tell me everything. Well.
I tried to call her after that. She didn't. So
Gotcha.
I'm quite
Yeah,
sure
she
her
lawyered
attorney
up.
probably told her,
Right.
don't talk.
Okay. Okay, so the way it's supposed to go, even if they establish a child support, they're supposed to, because they know where you live, they're supposed to send the case to your local court, and you do all this process locally. They're not supposed to do it long distance. Hell, I was in Pennsylvania, in the state of New Jersey, trying to do that to me. I sent them back a letter, but the case was already established, but I got tired of going all the way to Jersey for cases. And I simply told child support, listen, I forgot the date, but let's just say, hey, listen, on the 28th, I won't be able to come because I'm gonna be too busy washing my feet. So I'm not coming to no child support cases no more. They sent me a response, and in that response it said, abolish child support, raise child support, downward modification, or other. And on other, it said somebody wrote in there, must forward to proper jurisdiction. When I was going to Jersey all those times, I was simply doing them a favor. So they know that. But whenever they get you or do you wrong, they do it the cheapest way possible, but you at the time, you don't know it. This judge, or should I say this attorney, is asking for things. You can only ask for something if a case. So that's your mission. You have to find out what the case. Something has to be established for him to be asking you these questions. However, any interaction with any piece of paper coming from Florida is the no-no. You don't live in Florida. Jurisdiction goes everywhere. Even if even if they established a hearing and wrote up and got you a case, your strongest fight is, I don't live in Florida. Well, everything should have been established locally. Therefore, it's thrown out. That's the Constitution. You don't get around that. There is no yeah, but by nobody. It doesn't happen. So if they think they got you on a clock by, oh, we this, we that, it's a nice riddle. Let me just say that. It's a nice riddle. That's all. Will they try and go forth and try to start doing wage garnishments and going crazy stuff like that? Of course they would. The thing is, you have to educate yourself on all the right to know the wrong. So that would be.
Just, I was reading this. What about this stuff? They call that long arm jurisdiction shit.
The long arms of the law?
Yeah, I guess they call it long arms jurisdiction, where they can go in one state to another.
I'm just curious. Where did you read that based off of?
I read it on the let's see. That was in the Florida statute. It's long arm.
Well, the long arms of the law applies to everywhere and everybody. That's why I said earlier that when things happen, they pass it off to the part of the court system that goes that way, and that's federal. But like I said, when this whole thing went down, they should have located your local court and said, we got Mr. Jamar Jackson. I'm just using him. We got Mr. Jackson. We want you to do this. And everything should have been done through your local court. The long arms of the law, and the proper term is, you cannot escape the long arm of the law. You didn't do anything wrong. So why do you need to escape? The long arms of the law does not apply when it comes to establishing. Jurisdiction must always be applied. So, you're saying to yourself, I guess you read up on certain things to know where you stand or how hard the punch is going to be. But that's just what it gets down to. It gets down to the long arm of the law only applies to the term is you can't escape. If I want to sue you for $5, I can't go down to my local courts here in Virginia and sue you for $5 in Washington. That's not how that works. Under no narrative. If you ever want to get a good idea of the law, You got 5 hours. Go watch the first 48 marathon. Go watch the first 48. And you'll get an idea of how they do things. When the fugitive was caught. And you know how the guy talks. He's in let's just say Atlanta. The fugitive was caught in New Jersey. The fugitive, the federal task force, those guys are federal. You go across state lines, it's federal. You're a former officer. You know that. I'm not telling you something you don't know. So it applies though to child support as well. Now, here's my analysis of everything. I condemn affairs. I do. I don't have nobody in my life. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a family. The one woman that I admired in my life was dating a married man. So I just don't understand it. However, that's not what's in play here. What's in play here is I hate wrong. I'm a Boy Scout. I hate wrong. And the court system thinks that they can intimidate you. The courts think that, you don't know. And nothing does me the pleasure of always helping a court understand that that in fact somebody hired me, so they do know. I'm just curious, when they asked you for bank statements, they asked you for, and how long back?
It's 6 months bank statements, in the 1099s.
And what's your current employment right now?
I'm an investigator for a tribe, an Indian tribe.
Got you. Okay. And that's under the sovereignty of the Indians, right?
Correct.
I'm curious. Do you by any chance gotta feel like starting another bank account? Yeah, like start a Cash App account, and when they ask you, you show them that because. So let's get into that. I was taught when I went to school for law. Don't ever incriminate yourself. The term, to the best of my knowledge, is everybody's out. You could do yourself a favor and go to the hospital tomorrow and say, I bumped my head. And say, I just have and then 2 weeks from now say, I have a hard time remembering stuff. And you're doing that simply to put on record that you had a head injury. That's how easy it is to go left. And then when they ask you for stuff, you say, nah, I got a Cash App account. Oh, we found an account over here. I didn't even remember that. You could do everything in the world because of the term, to the best of my knowledge. And so you're not, and you will never ever incriminate yourself. And that's what I tell individuals. Don't ever put yourself in the position when you incriminate yourself, ever. There's no such thing as, I don't want to do all that. Do it. Do everything to counter your success will be the counter. When you counter your success, it's now your default. When individuals start poking and probing about your success. I went to court one time and they said that I had to bring in my 1099. Nobody subpoenaed me for it. I said, I'm not bringing nothing. I was not subpoenaed for it. I'm not bringing nothing. And then I said, in addition to that, I don't tell nobody my business. This was when my case was in New Jersey. The judge told me under New Jersey State Code XYZ, whatever, you're obligated to tell us nothing. I said, well, under the Smith Family Code, discretion, we don't tell nobody our business. He didn't say anything. When individuals say, do this or you'll go to jail, I've never seen that on anything other than a child support contempt hearing. Never seen it. And I'm going to tell you why I've only seen it there, because it's been established that wrong was done, and you're supposed to be paying child support. Either come or go to jail. I always chose the jail option. I just never scared of that narrative. Nonetheless, what I would strongly suggest if I was you, I would find out if in fact there's a case for me open down in Florida. I think you get all your answers.
If there's a what?
Case, a child support case. I think
No, there's not. There's not.
It's not
It's only just this,
the process.
the process and on the docket it has to establish paternity or establish or disestablish paternity. And then when you click on the top to say, okay, is this a child support case? There's no child support case yet because they haven't.
Gotcha.
Paternity hasn't been established yet.
The case only been established to start the case. It hasn't been established for judgment, because they're in basically the discovery stage right now. And
it's
yeah,
March 7th is the hearing.
say that again.
March 7th.
That's when they're saying the court date is March 7th.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's video.
Of
No
course,
jury video.
of course, it's video, so you can be there, so you can establish via video. Well, you're in Washington. What the fuck what does that mean? Of course, they want to do a video. They want to make it easier for you to incriminate yourself as possible. Any participation in this is incriminating yourself.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's it, man. Anything. Yeah, I wouldn't. Okay, so there isn't anything established. So
At the moment, no.
that's.
Because if it was, they would have been trying to get child support.
Mm-hmm. What are your situation with your banking? Is it just you, or you and your missus together?
Me and my wife.
Together.
And then I got one at home. And my mom from like 40 years ago.
You got what? Say that again.
I got like a old account with my mom like 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Are you officer retired?
No.
Okay.
And that's in Florida, so I got 2 accounts in Florida
Mm-hmm. Do you
and a couple accounts up here.
are your wife, is she familiar with what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
She got the summons, so she has an idea.
Gotcha. Did she know prior to that though?
Yeah, she knew.
Okay, gotcha. No, I got you. No, that's all I want to know. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
The reason why I want to know is because just if they try to put a garnishment on the account, she'll be like, no, this is my money, and that's how it is. They try their best. They try their absolute best to try and separate. I give you an example. 3 years ago, I had a case with a cat. Under the circumstances of had a child out of wedlock, and they was just like, all the money in the account is his. Of course you would say that, because you want it. So the wife went down there and got all the money back. She went and got all the money back. So no. It's my money.
And that's what they're probably going to try to do.
Yeah. So here's how you protect.
Here, though,
Say that again.
they can't do it here. They would have to establish a child support case here, and then Washington can do it.
Okay. So here's a good idea. Here's a good thing to do. So establish a business. You probably have one already, but establish a business account.
I was thinking about doing that.
Yeah. Just like, once again, don't ever not do it. You always do it, because you want to. The convenience is the cancer. So you establish a business account and put. You have other children?
Yeah, but they're older.
Yeah, it don't matter. Put your other children as the co-owners of the company. You're creating like a trust. They're going to protect you. And your wife, you don't even have to tell your kids you did it, by the way. You can just do it.
Okay.
And then you and your wife start putting y'all money in that account.
Okay.
Just the accounts that other accounts that y'all have, put $10 in there every 2 weeks just to keep them open. It's taking evasive action. And because any business account they can't touch, and then especially business accounts where there's co-owners, they ain't got nothing to do with, they can't do that. They can't touch those accounts. Your house is in you and your wife's name?
Correct.
You got any equity in that house?
Yes.
Okay. Take that house and establish another business. You and your wife, you ain't got to tell your wife this, I'm telling you. But you probably have to sign a deed. So anyway, establish a business for your house. Call it the Harmony House. Create a company called Harmony House, Inc. Once again, you do the same thing. Your son, co-owner. You and your son's all co-owners. Don't put your wife on it. Huh?
We have the same name.
Oh, that's cool. Damn, that's cool. That's even better. So you could, yeah. So you and your son, don't put your wife on it. You tell her about it, say this is for the purposes. And you deed the house into that name. That's going to lock them from trying to put a lien on the house and get equity out of the house. Now, what you do is you put on paper, and you get another, you do another, what's that person called? Notary. You do another notary. You and your wife are both co-owners of the house under the company name. And you that's just saying that y'all still own the house together, but out in the open, to block it, we're putting it over here. We're putting it in a company name, which is going to act as a trust. I think you can even put it in a trust. I got to get more information on that. And what you're doing is you're really just shutting your life down and blocking them from doing anything. Even if they say, well, you only did this because you knew we was coming after you for child support, you can say, yeah, that's right. You think I'm supposed to just lay down and let you get me? And that is the evasive action. You have to take any type of evasive action. You have to put yourself in a point where you could say, okay, and so the money that you make as the detective, that goes into a business account, yes?
No, I don't have a business account.
You said you don't?
No.
Okay. All right. So you got to create a business account. Did they ask? I heard you say 1099, but they literally asked you for a 1099?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because what I did was, because I sent a letter to them, like for discovery. And I put in the letter that, it was a motion to discovery and a letter for dismissal, and I asked her for her 1099, her bond information and stuff like that.
Okay.
Stuff of the judge. So, and then she just sent me back in her request for to produce. She put in like a 1099, closed accounts you have, any accounts you have together, joint or not.
Who said that?
The attorney.
She told you, your attorney?
I don't have one. Hers.
Why would her attorney tell you to close any accounts you have?
No, any accounts that are closed, they want records of it.
Oh man, get the fuck out of here.
Even if they was open, closed.
Oh my God. And she was asking that from you and your wife?
Yes.
Yep. See that? Yeah. Yeah. They don't get that. They didn't subpoena you for it anyway. So
they should have to subpoena for all that information.
Of course, you don't just give them shit. They got everything. Nothing can be given. I had individuals go down to court. I had a cat right up in Manassas, Virginia. They wrote on a piece of paper all the stuff they told him to bring. I said, no, you don't take that. He went to court and they said, well, where's the documents we asked you to bring? He said, you didn't subpoena me for nothing. They didn't say anything. No, everything is a subpoena. You don't volunteer no pay. Like you said, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Now, even when you go to court, I plead the Fifth Amendment on the grounds I may incriminate myself. That's what it's all about. You don't help them get you. That's not how that works. So anything they want, they're supposed to subpoena you for it, because once they subpoena you for it, then you can challenge the relevance of it. I can say, hey, bring me back all the stuff you can get an attorney to say, what's the relevance of this bullshit? Because once they put it on paper in a subpoena what they actually want, they can't backpedal and say, oh, we didn't really want that. Yeah, okay, whatever. You asked for it and you subpoenaed me for it. Even a judge can question, why do you need this? What's the difference in this and any other child support case? Any other child support case asks for 3 months back. Why are you asking for 6 months?
Right. Maybe 3 months back and your W-2s, but all the other shit.
Right. That's what I always got. They always ask for 3 months and W-2s. Now they ask for 5, 6. I had one of my clients about 2 weeks ago. They hired us. The guy asked for 5 years back. 5 years. I don't remember. I don't have a memory past 2 weeks. So, nope, you ain't getting that.
Insurance information, 401ks, and all that shit.
You don't remember none of that. Yeah, when it comes to all that, it sounds cute, but I personally, no. Unless they subpoena you for it, number one. Number two, personally, me, August, September, October, November, December, January, February.
7 months. It'll be 7 months.
Be 7 months? And they ask you for stuff for 6 months back.
Yeah.
What is the situation with your W-2? You didn't file one, right? 1099?
This year?
Yeah.
No, I didn't file a 1099.
Right, for 2022. Right, okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, be proud to tell them that stupid shit. So
I don't know where she get that 1099 shit from anyway.
yeah. Well, 1099 means that even if you have a business, that's their way of saying 1040 is for everyday cats. 1099 people. Let me help you understand something. A 1099 person gets a full course meal. They get the choice of steak, filet mignon, or salmon from the Alaskan Alps, if there is a such thing. They get choice of ice cream. They get that fed to them. Meaning the court's got to be that nice to them to participate. A person on a 1040, if they can contact your employer, those guys get old-ass McDonald's fries and a watered-down milkshake for their participation. But the person that works on a 1099, I ain't had one that got bagged yet. I'm trying to tell you, man. I ain't had one that got bagged yet. Doing this 20 plus years, I haven't had one that got bagged yet. Not one. Not one. As a matter of fact, I tell cats on the 1099, run your ass down there and do Lyft for 2 weeks and run down there and take them that. That's called the throw a bone tactic. I personally don't tell individuals to run from the process because they like that. I tell them just give them stuff, just don't give them the right stuff. Make it appear as though you're participating. Hell, go start working for Lyft now. Go start doing DoorDash and send them the DoorDash shit. And just, I'm trying to work with you guys here. You're getting mad all the time. Every time I send y'all something, you get mad, that's how it is, because that's how I was when I went. I'm retired military. And they knew better. I wasn't taking them shit. No. I'm not taking you shit. They even asked, no. not taking you a goddamn thing. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. I told him no. I came out and told him no. And I practically was like, go ahead and say if I don't send it to you, I'll go to jail. Go ahead and say that bullshit to me if you want to.
That's what they say. That's their favorite shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and say it. I said, I will run. I basically help them understand. I will run across this table and you can lock me up and then we'll see just what happened to you because I have a right. I have a right. I have a right to say no. I have a right. And the proper way to do. You did not subpoena me for nothing. Nothing. All they did was just send letters and notes and everything. That's not how it works.
Yeah, that's all they did. Send the court company letterhead and stuff like that. So.
Yep. And even when I got the court company letterhead, because they mailed it to me, I challenged the authenticity of the letter. Anybody could do it. I don't know. Well, if a sheriff didn't mail it to, if sheriff didn't come knock on my door and hand it to me, how am I to believe it? I don't believe it. They expect you to be smart and intellectual. They expect you to execute all this smarts because it helps them. But you can say, well, I got this sent to me, but there was no instructions on what to do. Okay, so you didn't understand it? No. Okay, so what was the extent of your schooling? Why? Are you a teacher, Your Honor? You're a judge. You're not now going to do this is not going to turn into my ability to comprehend hearing. That's not what this is going to be. They don't know how smart you are. You could be been diagnosed with dumbitis 2 weeks ago. How do they know? Yeah, they don't. They don't know anything. They expect you to sit down there and every time they send you something, be able to comprehend. I tell all of my clients, go to court, take the paper down there, nothing. Yeah, did you bring what we asked you? A couple of times. Hey, listen, I didn't know what none of this meant. Oh, you don't know? No, I don't. And then the judge asks, well, what is the extent of your schooling? Your Honor, why is that? I don't know what this means. I don't. You should have sent somebody with it. You should have a school to educate people on how to understand these letters. It costs you money. That's why you ain't doing it. You expect people to understand it. I don't understand it. That's why you say, to the best of my knowledge. Now you're telling me that I got to have all the knowledge? Don't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I will stand there. I don't understand nothing. No, I don't understand nothing. No, I didn't understand that neither. Did you see that movie, Wolves of Wall Street?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you see when they was questioning those guys? Nah, I don't remember that. Nah. Hey, you gonna eat that donut?
Exactly.
You don't understand nothing. They want you to understand. So, personally, I would start an evasive action. Sit your wife down, help her understand. Listen, I'm a drive for Lyft. When you drive for Lyft, they give you an account, and they put your money that you do for Lyft on account. And you can give your wife the account and say, put $10 in this mug and start. You got to start building an alternate reality. That's what you got to start doing because there's nothing like going down there and work. There's nothing like going down there saying that you only make $700 every 2 weeks or $426 every 2 weeks. It's the best shit in the world. You're sitting there just like, you can't get shit off of that.
Right.
So to me, that would be your move. Start doing that. Deal with the rest of the shit when it happened, because obviously it ain't happening. You already got that. What you're doing is appropriate. You're not getting that. No. You're handling it the right way. You didn't submit. So I would start today. I would I don't know, pick one. I would probably do Lyft because Lyft is quicker. I mean, DoorDash or
DoorDash.
Yeah.
Which I do got. I did have a DoorDash account.
Oh, you do? Good.
I used to do it, but I stopped doing it alone probably about 5 months, 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm. You still can get in there, though, right?
Yeah, because I still got an account.
Yep. So I start doing it. You get that DoorDash account, the card. I would just use that. Oh, you stopped doing it 5, 6 months ago. So how long were you doing it before that?
About 4 months.
Okay, so there you go. 5 months ago, that's 9 months. There you go. Start doing it again. There's your account.
Okay.
Yeah, there's your account. Then do the thing. You said you got equity in the house, so just deed your house over to a business. Get that out your name, because they'll try to they're real clever.
Put a lien on it.
Right. And now is the time to start. Even your account, you and your wife have now, close them. Because yeah. They cannot subpoena a closed account. They cannot do that. They could subpoena you because it's yours, but a bank ain't gonna participate in that. The bank can say, "What the fuck? That ain't got nothing to do with us." That's why they're telling you to close them. Go to.
What can I get off of them?
Say that again.
Or could I get off their accounts?
No, because they could say, well, here's the deal. You could open up a bank account, go and open up another savings account, and then close the one that you have. So today, let's say you banked at Bank of America. You got a checking account. Go to Bank of America, open up another checking account, take all the money out of your old account, don't transfer it, take the money out, then close that account, and then put the money in a new account. What you're doing is cutting off past. You're cutting your past off. That's what you're doing. Yeah. Everything you do, you cutting your past off. And if they say we wanted stuff from 5 years back, this is what I got. Well, you don't have that. This is what I got. Don't answer the question. You don't have that. I plead the Fifth Amendment to any questions concerning bank. You ask for bank, you got it. Yeah, we asked for such and such back. You got it. That's what you get. It's the game. It's a beautiful game when you start playing it. I always tell individuals that hire me, listen, let's have fun. It's a fun game to play. It's a beautiful game of cat and mouse where the cat, which is them, they never had a chance. The mice always wins.
Got a lot of stuff. Okay, I got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Accounts.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It might want to take a day off and sit down and just, because like I said, it's evasive action. In evasive action is like I said, it's never convenient, and convenience in your case is now a cancer. Like I said, I'm in Virginia. All my cars are registered in North Carolina. I even go through. I go through the toll here in Virginia, and guess what? They take a picture of the front plate. Oops, North Carolina don't have a front plate. So people ask me, why you don't have an easy pass or nothing? I don't need it. Why? North Carolina only got a rear plate. We don't have a back plate. Even so much as that I had a van and my friend got a group home. And I had the van for about 6 years. And he said, you selling your van, right? And I said, yeah. He said, yeah. I would buy it, man, but you be running them tolls. I said, what do you mean I be running the tolls? He said, man, I ain't trying to buy it, and then there's a lien on the title. I can't transfer it over. I said, Calvin, next time you go to the toll booth, you'll notice the cameras are in the front. North Carolina don't have a front plate. I said, ask a dude with a motorcycle, have he ever got mailed a ticket to pay for the toll? Ask him. I said, they know that they ain't getting everybody. They know that. I said, okay. He brought the van for me. He said, I want you to come down there to the motor vehicles with me. Then it was like, oh, the only problem that we have, the seller need to sign here. Oh, he said, oh, that's him. I said, okay, sign. I forgot somewhere I didn't sign, odometer or whatever it was. Sign off on there. Yeah, good. Calvin, man, I'm a boogie on, man. All right, that's it. I don't do convenience, bro. My dad taught me that. And on the other hand of that, child support court taught me that too. When you get in that arena, got to be invisible. So personally, they got nothing but start switching your life over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like for the 7, what would you do if it was you?
It's not in It's not in Washington. So
No, it's just a video hearing.
it's not. It wasn't established in Washington. They can say a video hearing all they want. Like I said, a video hearing is only designed to get you to adhere to it. When in fact, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's like saying. It's like a thief saying, I want to break in your house. Just open the door for me, though.
Right.
Motherfucker, you what? No. So that's what it's like. It's like it's all it's saying. You know, we're doing something out of the jurisdiction, but we'll do it by video. Right. You're gonna make it easier to get me within the jurisdiction. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay.
There's no such thing. It sounds good. Like I said, it's a trap to get you to participate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't. Mm-mm.
You wouldn't?
No. Mm-mm. The only thing I'm doing is I'm answering to, at the time with me, the only thing I was answering to was Monroe County Court. If it didn't come through Monroe County, and she was in New Jersey and Essex County, if it did not come through Monroe County, I told them that. No. I'm not. I don't hear none of that. And they said, okay, transfer to the proper jurisdiction. You don't live there. Period.
No, I haven't lived there. But okay.
No, it don't matter. When it started, you was not living there. It don't matter if you used to. Don't matter. You don't live there. It's like this. It's like when we be clearing stuff on people's credit. Oh, this is an old address. You don't live there now. Take it off your credit report. No, take that. Oh, that's yesterday. You don't take it off your credit report.
Okay.
Yeah. They know that though. How many times have you heard women say, I've been trying to get child support for 10 years. That mug never showed up. Yeah. I know women that, I got a friend of mine, 21, 22 years. They ain't got a penny. My friend Lydia in New Jersey. Dude moved to Atlanta or something. Never heard from him, this and all that. New Jersey transferred the thing down to Atlanta. Still, they didn't get him.
So you think they'll try to go ahead with a default judgment or what?
Well, once again, any judgment that is obtained with false information, the Constitution states that judgment should be thrown out. So let's go with your theory. They put a default judgment in. What would you say if they put a default judgment in? What would you say?
What I say about the judgment?
Yeah, what would you say if you got a letter in the mail? Hey, because you didn't come to the court on the 7th, this is your child support. Blah 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 blah. What would you say?
I don't know.
Well, here's what you should say after this beautiful almost hour we've been talking. You should say, how is this even possible when I didn't come there? I didn't submit any evidence. So in order to put in a child support amount, you must assess me for something that I didn't give you. So they put a judgment in on you, and they don't, in Florida, right? That's what it said, right? Let's establish that again. They put a judgment on you in Florida. You don't live in Florida. So how do you get a judgment in Florida? That's one wrong. The Constitution says on that, by that alone, it's thrown out. Number two, how did they assess your income? That right there is wrong. So it should be thrown out. And number three, it's not from your local court that has jurisdiction over you. So that's three things that is wrong. It's wrong. The Constitution states that any judgment that is acquired, obtained due to one, for example, you ever heard of people getting thrown? Oh, you're a cop, so this is perfect. You ever heard of people doing 15 years, but then they got released because the cop didn't read them their rights?
Yeah.
Why did that happen? Process was wrong.
Right. Constitutional right.
Process was wrong.
Right.
You don't Miranda rights. Oh my God! You hear the captain. Usually somebody. You don't Miranda rights. God damn it! Dad, we gotta let him go. Comedy court comments. You think, but that's right. That applies here too.
Okay.
Yeah. See how you just say, "Oh, okay." I'm writing a book now called Lateral Intellect, and the book is a book that I'm writing based on people understanding things over there, but for some reason, when it's done over here, they don't understand it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, it is just my job to help you understand that you got all the answers. You just didn't know how to apply them. Because when you realize that you're right, you execute it with authority. Like, I just tell you something right quick. I had a federal court hearing I had a case in federal court, and the judge says to me, I say, Your Honor, I would like for an adjournment so I was improperly served for the hearing. The judge said, well, you were mailed a letter to come to court. I said, Your Honor, you mailed the letter to the wrong address. It wasn't until I got a call yesterday that I realized that, in fact, there was a court hearing today. The judge said, well, I mailed the letter out to you personally. I laughed. I said, Your Honor, you may have ordered someone to do so, but you don't do that type of stuff. And I figured that out by looking at the watch he had on. I collect watches. I'm looking at the watch he had on. I'm like, no, you don't do that. But what he said that to put it on record, but it got challenged on record. That's why he didn't say anything. When he said, I mailed this out to you personally, I'm supposed to say, oh, okay. Then when I appeal it, then he said on record he did it personally. So I went to law school. So everything that he said, I knew to rebuttal it. Of course, it was on record. That's why I said what I said. I said, no. I said, you may have ordered somebody to do it, but Your Honor, you did not mail me anything personally. Then I said, okay, Your Honor, show me the address that you mailed it to, and then I'll show you my address.
Right.
Yep. He said, well, we moving forward. I said, okay. I won, but I was in there based on a disability with Social Security. I was getting Social Security for about a couple of years, and they were saying that they mailed me some stuff, and I ended up winning. But yeah, that's how that goes. But I knew I was going to win based on that. When they accept wrong, when they want to go forward with wrong on record, they're gonna win. They're gonna make sure you win. If in fact you get anything mailed to your house, all you got to do is just so what I would do, I would call the courts on the 8th, see if anything was sent. You get a letter. You open up the letter. You see what judge signed off on that letter, and then what you do is you ask that judge, how did you sign off on this when I wasn't there and submitted none of this information? How was that even possible? Then you get your victory. They can't establish nothing from Florida. I don't care if it's video chat. There's people that go to video court in the same jurisdiction. What is video for? Convenience? Yeah, you're conveniently trying to get me is the convenience. So, you understand that, and you'll be right where you need to be, my man. All right.
Okay. All right. One thing before you go, because I looked on the docket too, right? And they have a judge. Because I sent the judge that was on it. There was a judge and a hearing officer.
Mm-hmm.
What? All right. And I sent the judge a confidential letter.
Mm-hmm.
So then I looked on the docket yesterday, and that judge got reassigned.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
And then,
Yep. That's the power of knowing. I don't know what you sent, but that's the power. I've had individuals going to court for child support based on a welfare, and I literally told my clients, I said, that judge is going to recuse himself. I promise you that. And went to court, and as everything was unfolding, he damn near went into shock. He said, man, I was in there, just my jaw dropped. Everything you said was unfolding. I said, yeah, they know wrong.
Right.
So did they tell you what judge is going to be on there now?
Yeah, they got it was a female on that
Of course.
first, and then now it's a male on there now.
Mm-hmm.
Along with so basically what they doing, they're having a hearing officer hear the thing on the 7th, and then and it's not gonna be on the record for one, because they're saying if you want a court reporter, you have to request one and pay for one. So it's not going to be on the record. And then 2, the hearing officer is supposed to send his recommendation to the judge for approval, and then the judge signs off on it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, we had a couple of those, and individuals hired us, and what we did was we actually sent the letter to the judge and helped them understand. We don't know how they do things where you're at, but this is how the Constitution works if you need a refresher. When I send letters to the court from my company, we're not nice. We're vulgar as hell. And we do that because we don't have to be nice. All the people in that court thing, they work for us. The court building work for us, but they want to, like our government, make it appear as though they are ruling us and controlling us. So I sent a letter and basically the letter said, there's some stuff going on to our surprise. However, you will quickly earn yourself a trip down to federal court and explain to the federal judge how you signed off on an order with all wrong. Do understand and do note that what you signed the court for, you can't do that. The Constitution says you can't. Your boss, America, says you can't. And that's the way it goes. Yeah. So
got it.
that's the power of it. So, yeah, like I said, so in summary, just, I would do the same thing with this judge. And
Send the same paperwork. Okay.
mm-hmm. And beef it up and say to any and all, it's obviously you're going to switch now that you know this. You help them understand that. They're not untouchable like they think they are. But then once again, I would call the courts on the 8th and find out what's the update. All right? Okay, my man.
Alrighty.
We're here. You need us in the future or anything, just reach out.
Alrighty.
Okay, my man.
All right, thanks.
Yep.